I am William, and in ancient Egypt there were holy rooms where love, scent, song and desire were treated with the same care as prayer. Most people picture temples as stern places of stone and silence, yet in the shrines of Hathor, the great lady of joy, beauty, music, and love, the mood could be softer, warmer, and far more intimate than many expect. Tonight, we step inside that hidden world through one of the most famous sacred sites tied to her name, the temple at Dendera. Its walls still carry faces of women, mirrors, sistra perfume jars, and divine scenes that hint at a truth easy to miss. In Egypt, romance was not always set against religion. At times it moved through it. The first surprise is this: there was no sign on the wall saying Temple of Love in the modern sense. Ancient Egypt did not divide life the way we often do. Love, beauty, fertility, pleasure, music, birth, marriage, and divine favor could meet in one sacred space. That is why Hathor matters so much. She was not only a goddess to be feared or obeyed, she was a goddess people hoped would bless the tender parts of life. Imagine the approach at dusk. The Nile air is soft, oil lamps flicker, linen shifts in the breeze. A woman brings a small cone of scented fat for her hair. A man carries flowers and a jar of wine. Musicians wait near the court with sistra and hand drums. Priests move with calm purpose. Incense lifts in slow curls. The stone is cool, but the mood is alive. This is not a secret house of scandal dressed in myth. It is something more intriguing. It is a holy place where desire is shaped, named, and offered order. The full story behind this might surprise you, because the temple was not open in the same way for all people at all times. Egypt was full of rank, and sacred life had rules. Inner rooms were tightly controlled. Priests and priestesses handled rites that common visitors would never see at close hand. Yet festivals changed the air. On feast days, music, drink, perfume, and public joy drew the outer world nearer to the Divine One. At Dendera, Hathor was linked with charm, festivity, and the deep wish for union. Some texts and images suggest that people came to ask for love, fertility, harmony in marriage, or the return of warmth to a strained bond. Mirrors were linked with beauty and the gaze. Menet necklaces and sistra rang with the sound of her favor. The scent of myrrh and kaifi was not only pleasant, it marked a shift in the soul. To breathe it was to enter another mood. And here is the intriguing part most people miss. The most sensual thing in such a place was not exposed skin. It was atmosphere, soft music, perfume on skin, gold light on painted relief, the rustle of clean linen, the cool press of stone under bare feet, the sense that love itself might be watched by a goddess who knew both joy and danger. In that world, romance was not casual. It was charged. Let us follow one likely scene, built from what historians know of Egyptian worship, temple life, and the role of Hathor. A young wife, let us call her Tia, arrives with an older female kin at a festival. Her marriage is lawful, but not yet easy. She wants affection, not only duty. She wants a child, but also the softer thing that comes first, the feeling of being chosen. She has heard that Hathor listens best when music and scent rise with a true heart. Tia is not there for scandal. That matters. Ancient Egyptian love poetry could be playful and bold, yet temple space was still sacred. She washes, braids fresh flowers into her wig and brings a small gift, perhaps fruit, perhaps beer, perhaps a little oil. She joins others in the forecourt while singers praise the Golden One, the lady of song, the mistress of jubilee. The words are old, but the hope is simple. Let love return, let the bed be kind, let the home be whole. Nearby another woman is not yet wed. She watches the rites with a different ache. She wants a good match, not a cold bargain. A scribe hopes for favor from a woman he dares not yet address. A priestess shakes the sistrum, and the metal sound cuts through the dusk like light on water. For a moment, all these private wishes sit in one public place. Yet the truth is even more astonishing. In Egypt, divine love could mirror royal power. Some temple rites linked union, fertility, and renewal to the health of the land itself. When gods met in image, song, or festival, order was renewed. The joining of male and female force was not just personal, it was cosmic. That is one reason these sanctuaries feel so charged. A private longing could echo a grand idea. To seek love was also, in a small way, to seek harmony with the world. This did not mean freedom without limit. Desire in Egypt still had lines. Marriage contracts existed. Property mattered. Status mattered. A woman could hold rights in ways that surprise many modern viewers, but she still lived inside a social order. Men could stray, women could suffer, gossip could wound. A temple did not erase that. What it offered was not escape from life, but a frame for it. Love was to be blessed, guided, and kept from chaos if it could be. That may be why the rooms of Hathor feel so haunting now. Their carvings are formal, yet beneath them is a hum of human need. People came with vows, fear, hunger, and hope. Some asked for a child, some for peace, some no doubt for desire to wake again in a bond gone dry. When lamps burned low and the chant softened, the place must have felt almost suspended between body and prayer. The full story behind this might surprise you in one more way. Dendera was also a place of procession. Sacred images could move from inner rooms to roof chapels under sun and sky, and ritual time itself could alter how people felt the temple. Lotus flowers, polished mirrors, red ochre, green malachite, and fine linen all belonged to a world where beauty was not trivial. It was a sign of life in bloom. Even wine had a role, especially in feasts tied to Hathor, where joy, music, and release were not treated as shameful if kept within sacred order. That helps explain why later minds turned these spaces into rumors. A temple that allowed scent, song, female presence, and emotional prayer was easy to misread. But the older truth is finer than that. These sanctuaries did not worship lust. They tried to civilize desire, give it language, and bind it to blessing rather than ruin. There are also darker hints. Hathor was not only sweet, she could be fierce. In myth, joy and danger sat close in her nature. That tension matters. The same force that could bless union could punish pride or excess. So the secret temple of love was never just a place of pleasure. It was a place of balance. The heart had to be true. The wish had to be fit to speak before the divine. Think of Tia once more as the night rite ends. She leaves with oil on her wrists and music still in her ears. Nothing in her life has changed at once. The house she returns to is the same, the bed is the same, the man is the same, yet she has carried her need into a sacred light and named it. That alone has power. In many old worlds, silence ruled intimate pain. Here, at least for a moment, it could be voiced. So what was Egypt's secret temple of love really like? Not a hidden den of scandal, and not a modern fantasy placed on old stone. It was a sacred world tied to Hathor, where beauty, Song, desire, fertility, and divine favor met under ritual care. It held perfume and prayer, music and caution, longing and law. That is what makes it so compelling. It was sensual, yes, but never empty. Every touch of scent, sound, and light pointed to something larger than appetite alone. And that may be the lesson left in the dust of Dendera. The ancients knew that desire can unsettle a life, but they also knew it can give life warmth, meaning, and renewal when held with grace. They did not always hide love from the holy. At times they brought it closer. If this journey changed the way you see ancient Egypt, tell me what struck you most. If you would like me to take you deeper into more hidden tales of love, ritual, and power, leave a like and stay with me for the next story. Because the oldest stones still guard the most revealing truths about longing, secrecy, and the human heart.